So yesterday I finished up my sixth book of the Bible, and I was in Deuteronomy, and I was just thinking about how I always heard about Moses not being allowed to step foot in the Promised Land, but I never knew why until I picked up my Bible and I started reading for myself. So Moses, when it got to the point where the Israelites were begging and pleading and saying they should have stayed in Egypt, why would God bring them out of slavery and bring them to the wilderness with nothing to eat or nothing to drink? And they were complaining about being thirsty. And so God had told Moses to, basically make water come from the rock. And Moses struck the rock twice, which shows that he didn't show it showed that he didn't trust that God was going to make water come from the rock. But it also showed that he had no faith in God. He didn't believe that God was going to provide water for them from a rock. You struck it not once, but you struck it twice. When that's not what God asked you to do. And so ultimately, that's what led to Moses not being able to step foot into the promised land. So imagine how hard it is to follow Christ and to be a leader over all of his people and know that the things that he promised your ancestors that you will never be able to enjoy because you chose to disobey him and show that you didn't trust him in front of the rest of his people, which in turn would have caused the Israelites to doubt God as well. But the fact that he still loved Moses enough to show him the promised land before he passed away. Not only did he show Moses the promised land, but after Moses had died, God himself buried Moses in a place that no one knows where he is to this day. So it just showed that even though he disobeyed God and showed that he had some type of doubt about God in front of the Israelites, that God still loved him regardless. And that's just the same with us. God still loves us even though we make decisions that we know we shouldn't probably make, even though we turn back into temptation. He just asks that we repent and we be sincere about it. We still have to be punished. We still have to be punished. He can forgive us, he can still love us, but he still has to punish us because he has to let us know that he's the one in control. He has to say so. He controls all things, and we can do nothing without him. So now I just started the book of Joshua. I've read chapter 1 through 4. And to see Joshua step up and take control after Moses' death, what really touched me was that Joshua sent two spies into the land of Jericho, and no, they were met with nobody other than a prostitute, Rahab. And the fact that she feared God and she took these men and she hid these men because she knew that God had sent them. And she knew that her people were about to be overtaken by God's people. And she wanted them to show mercy on her. So she showed kindness to them and she protected them in hopes that they would protect her as well. And the spies basically said, like, we have to talk to God about that, and when the time comes for us to take over this land, then we can keep our promise with you as long as you throw a scarlet rope down. Um, it just shows that even though she wasn't an Israelite and she was a Canaanite, that God still shows mercy for all people. He still forgives all people who believe and trust in him. We can do things, but we have to repent and be sincere about it. and God will show us grace and mercy. So, y'all, it's been day 83 of me consistently reading my Bible, and I have learned so much. Some of these stories I've heard growing up as a kid, as I grew up in church, but to read it for myself and to understand it myself, it hit completely different. I'm gonna be honest, like, I've read so many books of the Bible, but Joshua was never one that I've read before. So I'm enjoying learning something new that I haven't learned already, and I look forward to continue to keep growing my faith in God, learning His Word, and taking my brothers and sisters along the way with me. I got to get back to posting consistently. Even though I haven't been posted, I have still been in my Bible. I've been reading every day. But I thank you guys for continuing to watch my journey as I fall in love with God more and more each day. I just thank Him for everything that He does for us. I thank Him for the forgiveness that He shows us on a continuous basis, because Lord knows that we are sinners and we don't deserve anything that He does for us. But because He loves us, He still does it anyways. I hope you have a good night, guys. I'm exhausted. I've been working all week and I'm about to relax and continue to read my Bible. I'll see y'all in the next video.